Do you know which competencies make you a better leader and a more powerful communicator? For over 20 years, I've worked with leaders around the world, and I've identified 8 leadership communication competencies. They're a combination of mindset, your internal way of communicating with yourself, and then external influence, how you communicate with your team or external stakeholders. So let's go through those 8 competencies. The first one is confidence. That's giving yourself permission to lead. How you communicate with others starts with how you communicate with yourself. So how are you finding your own confidence from within as opposed to looking for it from external sources? The second competency is strategic authenticity. It's not just authenticity, because authenticity can be good or bad. You can be authentically lazy or unprepared. Strategic authenticity is finding that overlap between what's authentic to you and what's effective in any given context or situation. And that's a sweet spot that we have to work on to find. The third competency is the process you use to communicate. Most people tend to over-prepare or under-prepare. So they're totally scripted or they're rambling and off the cuff. And the best process is somewhere in the middle where you do your research, you know what you're going to talk about, you draft an outline, and then you use effective speaking notes so that your mind's not going to go blank, but you're not tied to the script. You can engage with others more naturally. The fourth competency is your strategy. So many new leaders, new senior leaders particularly, find it challenging to be able to choose the right message for the right audience, the right language for the right audience, recognizing the more senior the person you're communicating with, the less of their time you have. So how do we strategically encourage or strategically make sure that we're using the right message for any given audience? Which brings me to the fifth competency, which is clarity. It's not about being a subject matter expert. You probably got to where you are in your career by being a subject matter expert. But now in a senior leadership role, your success comes from being able to take all that complexity and put it into clear, concise, compelling language that others can understand, that others can take action on, especially finding clarity amidst uncertainty when you don't have complete information. The sixth competency is the structure that you use. There's a difference between being a good speaker and a great public speaker. You might be conversational and natural as a speaker, but a great public speaker and a powerful leader who communicates powerfully uses a specific structure or a series of structures to make sure that they're on point. They have an outline. They're not just winging it, and they're able to immediately command the attention of their audience and then keep it and keep them engaged through the way that they communicate through their structure. Okay, 2 more. The seventh competency is your executive presence, which doesn't come from your title or years of experience. Your presence comes from how you show up and how you make others feel. So it's partially what you do, but it's also partially the impact you have on others. So it's your relationships, your professional or personal relationships, your ability to build strategic coalitions with others in order to get things done. We spend a lot of time working on executive presence. And then finally, the 8th competency that leaders need to communicate with power and influence is your energy, your ability to inspire and create a sense of momentum. We want to make sure that it's not just the words you're focused on, but your energy when communicating those words, your nonverbal communication, your ability to connect with others and get them excited to join you in achieving a shared vision. 3 of these competencies form the basis of my ACE model of leadership communication: authenticity, clarity, and energy. But now you see all 8 components of leadership communication. And whenever I work with executives, We're not working on all 8 all at once. That would be too much. We're choosing the specific competencies that are holding those leaders back because they're lacking those competencies. And then we're working together to ensure that we're building the competencies so that they can be more effective leaders, more confident communicators, and they can inspire people to take action. Those are the 8 competencies. I hope they're helpful to you. And if you found this helpful, then subscribe and reach out to me. I'd love to be a resource to you and your colleagues.